In a world obsessed with noise, attention and validation, choosing silence has become almost revolutionary. Everywhere you turn, someone is shouting their plans, broadcasting their goals, or announcing their next big move, hoping for applause, permission, or praise. But let me ask you, what if your greatest power lies not in what you share with the world, but in what you keep to yourself? We've been conditioned to believe that being loud is being strong, that telling everyone what you're doing means you're confident. But true power, real undeniable power, moves differently. It doesn't need a stage or a spotlight. It doesn't ask for attention. It works quietly, relentlessly, intentionally, behind the scenes. And when it shows up, it doesn't speak, it dominates. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to share with you over the next few minutes may challenge how you've been taught to chase your dreams. But I promise you this, if you listen with an open heart, if you absorb this message, and if you apply what you learned today, you will walk away with a weapon most people never master: the art of knowing when to speak and, more importantly, when to stay silent. Because here's the truth, silence is not weakness, it's not fear, it's not hiding. It's strategy, it's discipline, it's power. And those who learn to wield it wisely gain a level of control, clarity, and strength that cannot be touched by outside opinions, noise, or negativity. Today we begin a journey through the unspoken truths that could protect your vision, fuel your discipline, and elevate your life. We'll talk about why silence is your shield, why it is your superpower, why the loudest voices often do the least, and why the quiet ones, they're the ones moving mountains in secret. You see, when you stop announcing and start acting, something changes. Your energy gets sharper, your focus becomes deeper. You stop looking around for permission and you start giving yourself power. Real success doesn't need to be announced. It doesn't beg for recognition. It simply shows up fully formed, undeniable. So today I challenge you to let go of the need to be seen and embrace the strength of being unseen. Let go of the urge to prove and embrace the patience of progress. Let go of the noise and step into the stillness where real transformation begins. Because your silence is not empty, it is full of power. Let's begin. The power of secrets. Welcome my friends. Today I'm about to share with you a powerful truth. One that most people never realize, yet it can transform your life in ways you never imagined. This truth is actually a secret so powerful that once you know it, your entire perspective on success, growth, and achievement will shift. But here's the important part. Once you know this secret, you must keep your mouth shut. Why? Because the greatest power you have is not in the words you speak, but in the energy you protect and the wisdom you hold close. You see, in a world that constantly encourages us to share every thought, every plan, and every dream, the idea of silence feels almost unnatural. Social media teaches us to broadcast our lives, to tell everyone what we're doing and what we hope to become. But the truth is, those who succeed most often do the exact opposite. They are silent about their goals. They don't seek validation from others. They quietly work behind the scenes, away from the noise and distractions. Here's why. When you share your dreams too early, when you tell the world your plans before you lay the foundation, you open yourself up to doubt, negativity, and distraction. People might not understand your vision. Some might even try to discourage you, either because they don't believe in you or because they are scared of your potential. And sometimes people don't even say anything. Their silence or small actions can slowly drain your energy and make you question yourself. Think about it like this. Success is like a seed planted in the soil. If you keep digging it up to show others, you disturb its growth. It needs time, patience, and quiet nurturing to break through the earth and bloom into something magnificent. Similarly, your dreams and goals need time and quiet focus to develop fully before you reveal them to the world. True power is born in silence, it's nurtured in patience, it's revealed only when the time is right, when your foundation is strong and your vision is clear. This is why so many people who talk too much about their plans never reach the heights they dream of. Their energy gets scattered, their focus shifts, and their motivation falters because of the noise around them. But you are different. You have now discovered this secret, that holding your vision close and working on it quietly gives you an advantage. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need to prove anything to the doubters or naysayers. Instead, focus on the work. Focus on your growth. Protect your energy like the rare treasure it is. Because when you finally reveal your success, it won't just be an announcement. It will be a statement, a powerful proof of your dedication, your resilience, and your silent strength. So remember, my friend, once you know this secret, keep your mouth shut, guard it, protect it, use it. Because silence is not weakness, it is your greatest weapon on the path to success. The secret of silent strength. Now that you understand the power of keeping your goals and dreams to yourself, let's go deeper. Let's talk about what this silence creates inside of you. Because it's not just about keeping quiet. It's about building something stronger, something unshakable. That something is silent strength. Silent strength is the kind of power that doesn't need to be announced. It's not loud, it's not boastful, but it is undeniable. It's the quiet force that drives you when no one's watching. It's a discipline to stay focused even when no one is cheering you on. It's the courage to take step after step, knowing that your breakthrough is coming, not because others say so, but because you believe it. Here's a secret that most people miss. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Protect it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Energy fuels your focus, your confidence, your ability to show up for yourself every day. And every time you speak your dreams out loud to someone who doesn't support you, who doesn't understand you, or who doesn't deserve access to your vision, you give away a piece of that energy. When you speak too soon, you invite opinions, distractions, and noise that can cloud your clarity. Some people won't doubt your goals because they're unrealistic, but because they're afraid of how powerful you become if you actually achieve them. Others will project their own fears, failures, and insecurities onto you, and slowly, without realizing it, you start to second-guess yourself. That's the cost of unnecessary exposure. But when you stay silent, you protect your mental space. You stay focused on the process instead of obsessing over the outcome. You build your foundation brick by brick, day by day, without external noise shaking your resolve. That's silent strength. Imagine a lion stalking its prey. It doesn't roar before the hunt. It moves silently, patiently, strategically, and when the time is right, it strikes with precision and power. You must become like that lion. Let your silence be your strategy. Let your actions be your response. Let your results do the talking. Real growth doesn't need to be announced. It's like roots growing underground, deep, steady, unseen. But when the tree finally breaks through the surface, it stands tall, strong, and undeniable. That's what happens when you honor the power of silence. You become unshakable. This is what silent strength looks like. It's waking up early to work on your dream without posting about it. It's saying no to distractions when nobody's clapping for you. It's having the confidence to not explain yourself and the wisdom to know that time will reveal everything. So remember, your silence is not weakness. It's your shield. It's your power. And once you understand this secret, guard it fiercely, because the strongest ones in the room aren't always the loudest. They're the ones building something powerful in the dark. Why silence is a superpower. Let's be clear about something. In today's world, silence is not just rare, it's radical. And it is absolutely a superpower. In a time where everyone is in a rush to post, to speak, to show off and to be seen, the one who chooses silence stands out. The one who works in silence moves with unmatched strength. But why is silence such a powerful force? Because silence is focus, silence is control, silence is discipline. When you choose silence, you're not choosing weakness. You're choosing to protect your mind, your mission, and your momentum. You're choosing to rise without distraction. You're choosing growth without interference. You're choosing to be unbothered by outside noise. You see, when you talk too much about what you're going to do, your brain starts to feel a false sense of accomplishment. You haven't done anything yet, but it feels like you have because you talked about it. And that illusion steals your drive. It tricks your mind into thinking you've already arrived, when in reality, you haven't even started. This is why silence is so dangerous to mediocrity. Because the person who doesn't speak, who just works, can't be stopped. They aren't distracted by opinions. They aren't caught up in praise or criticism. They just locked in, focused, hungry. And that's terrifying to anyone stuck in a loop of noise and inaction. Think about some of the most successful people you admire. They didn't become great by announcing their every move. They built in private. They studied in silence. They trained in the dark. Then one day they stepped out and the world took notice. That's the power of silence. Silence also gives you the space to listen, not just to others, but to yourself. In silence, you can hear your intuition louder. You can feel your inner compass guiding you. You can hear what your future self is trying to say. And more importantly, you can hear when something or someone is not right for your path. It's in that quiet space that you grow the most. Let's talk about control. Because silence also gives you control over your emotions and your environment. When you speak too quickly, especially in moments of frustration or excitement, you often say things you later regret. But silence gives you the chance to think, to observe, to calculate. And sometimes the smartest response is no response at all. People underestimate you when you're quiet. They assume you're not watching, not planning, not moving. Let them stay distracted by your silence, because while they're guessing, you're progressing, you're getting better, sharper, stronger. Silence is your shield against premature exposure. It is your strategy against unnecessary conflict. And most of all, it is your stage, because when the time is right, your results will speak so loudly that you won't need to say a single word. So the next time you feel tempted to explain yourself, to defend your dream, or to announce your next move, pause, take a deep breath, and remember, silence is a superpower. The cost of speaking too soon. There's a hidden danger that comes when you speak too soon. And make no mistake, there is always a cost. Every time you speak prematurely about your goals, your breakthroughs, or your ideas, you invite energy that may not be meant for you. And sometimes that energy doesn't come to support, it comes to sabotage. People often speak of evil eyes or bad vibes, and while those phrases may sound spiritual or even superstitious, there's truth in them. When you open your mouth before your foundation is secure, you give people the chance to project their fear, jealousy, doubt, and negativity onto your vision. And if you're not grounded enough, their words become your thoughts. Their doubt becomes your delay. Their energy becomes your burden. Let that sink in. Think about how many dreams have been crushed, not by failure, but by premature exposure. Someone gets excited about a new business idea, shares it with a friend, and the friend laughs or says, "You really think you can do that?" And suddenly the fire inside begins to dim. The passion weakens. Not because the idea wasn't good, but because the wrong person was given access to it too soon. Speaking too soon creates false expectations. You talk about what you're going to do, and suddenly people start watching. They start asking, "How's that going?" Or, "Did you ever finish that thing you said you were working on?" And now, instead of focusing on the work, you focused on the pressure. Instead of staying aligned with your path, you're performing for an audience that shouldn't even be in the room yet. That pressure can become a prison if you let it. And let's not forget, some people pretend to support you, but deep down they hope you don't succeed. They smile in your face and nod in agreement, but behind the scenes, they're praying for your failure. This is not paranoia, it's reality. Jealousy often wears the mask of friendship. That's why wisdom says move in silence until it's time to speak to your success. Silence protects you from the noise. It guards your mind while you're still building. And when your dream is still in its infancy, you can't afford the wrong hands or the wrong words touching it. You need space. You need peace. You need time to grow your roots deep before your tree reaches for the sky. That way, when the storms come, and they will, you stand strong. When you keep your mouth shut, you keep your power. You stay focused on what matters. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need to broadcast your every move. Let your results speak. Let your success be your proof. Because the truth is this, the people who talk the loudest rarely finish the race. But the one who moves quietly, who builds consistently, and who protects their vision, that's the one who becomes unstoppable. So don't let your words cost you your destiny. Speak only when it's time to say, "I did it." Let your success speak. There comes a time when you no longer need to speak about what you're doing, because what you've built, achieved, and become says everything for you. That's the ultimate reward of silence. Your success becomes your voice. You see, when you stay silent long enough, when you protect your vision, when you do the work in the shadows without begging for validation, you position yourself for something much greater than applause. You position yourself for impact. And impact doesn't need to announce itself. It just is. Think about the greatest moments in history, in sports, in life. The loudest applause didn't come before the action. It came after. No one claps for a boxer during training. They clap after the knockout. No one celebrates the writer while they're grinding through pages in isolation. They celebrate once the book becomes a bestseller. No one notices the seeds beneath the soil until the harvest begins to bloom. That's how you must move. Quietly, strategically, relentlessly, and when the time is right, let your results walk into the room before you do. Let your bank account speak for the sacrifices no one saw. Let your healed heart speak for the pain you never broadcasted. Let your transformation speak for the season of silence where you chose growth over gossip, peace over pride, and purpose over popularity. And don't just let success be about money or status. Let it reflect in your discipline, in your peace, in your ability to stay grounded while others are caught in noise. The world is addicted to loud opinions, loud drama, loud distractions. But success, true success, it whispers. It doesn't need to scream. It doesn't beg for attention. It commands respect. But here's the catch. Success won't come to those who spend more time talking about what they're going to do than actually doing it. It comes to the ones who get up, show up, and never stop grinding, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. So stop announcing, stop explaining, stop defending, and stop asking for permission. You don't need it. Just work, just build, just execute. Let them wonder what you're up to. Let them assume you disappeared. Let them think you gave up. Until one day they see everything you were building while they were busy talking. And when that moment comes, you won't have to say a single word. Your result will say it all. Your growth will say it all. Your silence will finally make sense. It's the power of knowing the secret and keeping your mouth shut. Because at the end of the day, silence isn't just a strategy. It's a statement, a declaration that says, I don't need to tell you I'm winning. You'll see it when the time is right. And when they finally see it, they'll remember the silence and they'll understand why you chose it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this powerful journey, one that isn't just about words, but about wisdom, not just about motivation, but transformation. If you've been listening with your heart, then you now understand something most people never will, that silence is not just an absence of sound, it is a presence of strength. You've been told your whole life that you need to speak up, make noise, be seen, be heard, but what they didn't tell you is that the loudest room isn't always the one that holds the most power. Often it's the quiet one, the still one, the focused one, the room where someone is building in silence, crafting something unstoppable, preparing for a moment that will speak louder than any words ever could. Because here's the truth. Words can inspire, but actions reveal. And when you choose silence, when you decide to protect your energy, to withhold your plans, to nurture your growth away from the spotlight, you give yourself the space to become everything you were meant to be. Silence allows your roots to deepen. It gives you room to make mistakes without an audience. It gives you time to build confidence brick by brick without pressure or comparison. While others are wasting energy trying to convince the world they're doing something, you'll be quietly becoming someone. And that is power. Real power is not in proving, it's in becoming. It's not in announcing your intentions, it's in delivering undeniable results.